Now we need to solve for x, which is another way of saying that we need to find out how much a single x weighs. We got the idea from the last problem that it's a good idea to subtract something from both sides in order to eliminate a number completely from one of the sides. In this case, the best number to subtract would be 2. If we do that, we end up with 3x all by itself on the left side. And when we subtract 2 units from the right side, we can do that by realizing that 4 minus 2 equals 2. So we just replace the 4-unit weight on the right side with the 2-unit weight. So, after subtracting 2 units from each side, we have 3x equals 2x plus 2. That still doesn't tell us now what x equals, so what do? Well, we need to get a single x all by itself on one side, and just a number all by itself on the other side. That will tell us what x equals. To do this, in this case, we need to take 2 x's away from both sides, because that will get rid of the x's on the right side of the equation. Remember, in algebra we can do just about anything we want to one side of an equation, as long as we do the same thing to the other side. So when we take 2 x's away from the left side, and also take 2 x's away from the right side, we're left with just x on the left side and just 2 on the right side. So we write x equals 2, and the problem is solved. See, this x was 2 all the time. We just didn't know it was 2 till we solved the problem using algebra. Hopefully you're kind of getting the idea that to solve for some unknown value we call x in an equation, we need to just keep applying the fundamental principle of algebra over and over until we have one single x on one side of the equation and just a number on the other side. And that, by the way, is the second principle I hope you will get out of this lesson. That is, to solve for x, you will need to isolate a single x all by itself on one side of the equation, and a single number on the other side. Okay, this is super important for you to remember, so let me restate it while you take a moment to jot this down in your notes. The fundamental principle of algebra is, whatever you do to one side of an equation, just do the same thing to the other side, and you will still have a valid equation. The second principle is, when solving for x, keep applying the fundamental principle of algebra over and over until you are left with just one single x on one side and a single number on the other side of the equation. Now let's try a few of these to see if you've learned how to apply these two principles to solve for x.